Hello friends, welcome back to the cabin. Welcome back to the barn out here at St. Bernard Acres. We're in the studio right now. It's just going to be pretty much a chat update type video of what's going on, what I plan on the next couple weeks. Had to clean up in here. During the winter, it was really too cold to do like any videos in here or do any work in here really. So things just kind of got piled up, if you will. So I needed to spend some time putting everything away, sweeping up, clearing out this studio, which I still got to clear out. I mean, I did this, I could do review videos and do videos in here. I got these fans to do. They sent me 2 of them. I'm going to do a giveaway on one of them. But I've got stuff I have to do reviews on. So today it's like 85 degrees out there, tad warm, and it'd be a good time to work in the barn and get things cleaned up and get ready for working on the house. First off, happy Mother's Day to everybody. This is Sunday, May 11th, and the boys took care of Gail, fortunately. I don't have to, but that's why I had boys, so they'd take care of Mom. mess over here is primarily burn stuff. But it's been so windy or raining and it's hard to burn. I'm going to move this ladder, and I think I'm going to go down and get a burn barrel and just say to heck with it, set a burn barrel out here and start adding to it. I don't have to have a big giant fire for it. So let me see if I can move this ladder without killing myself. No, I'm just kind of like do an update thing, what's going on. I still get a lot of questions about septic systems. So let me jump into that real quick. I'll try to make this, as simple as possible. The way you go about getting your septic system in Guernsey County in Ohio, right? You have to get a soil scientist out here. He comes out, does what's called, they used to call it a perk test. I don't think it's called that anymore, but it's basically that. He marks out 3 places or 2 places where you could have a leach field. And he says those are the 2 places you could do it. You could choose from those 2 depending on what kind of leach field and how big a leach field you need. So once you get the results back from that and pay him his $600, then you call the county health department. They send somebody out to do what's called a site survey. She takes that soil scientist report. She tells you what kind of septic system you can put in. You don't get to choose. There's 3 different septic systems that they use here in Ohio. She tells you which one you need to use based on the soil report that she got back. And then she tells you the size of the tank, the size of the leach field, where the leach field can be, how many lines, you know, all of that kind of stuff. So you go through that, then you have to submit a design of your septic system, how you're going to put it in. Then you can get the permit. Once the design is accepted, then you can get the permit. Now, that's easy to do if you hire a company to come out and do a septic system for you. If you want to do your own, you are allowed to. You have to take a test. You pass that test, then you can do the design, you can get it approved, and you can get your permit if you pass the test. The test is not difficult. I'm taking it tomorrow. Right? I did a couple dummy tests, 0 problems. It's 75 questions, you got to get 57 of them right. It's multiple choice, and it's open book, and you have 3 hours to take it. I think I can pass that. And it's $65. You get to take the test 3 times. If you can fail twice, you know. And once you get that certificate, then you're allowed to do your own install. And that saves a ton of money. The cheapest bid I got for doing a septic system out here was $14,000. Now, I have bought everything that I need for it. Bobby, my next door neighbor, is going to be doing the actual, he's bringing his excavator down and we're going to do the install. And I'm paying him. The whole thing is going to cost me half of what it would cost to pay somebody to do it. And Bobby, in his county where he lives, he's a builder. He's been a builder up there for 30 plus years. He is licensed to do septic systems in that county. He wants to get licensed down here because he's going to be doing a lot of work down here as well. The test that I'm taking only allows me to do my own system on my own property. I can't go out and sell design work, you know, I'm not allowed to do that. He's going to be taking the test that allows him to get licensed to do septic systems in this county. But that's, you know, that's how that's how it works. Those are the steps you got to take in order to do it. Now, Lindsay, I will say this about Guernsey County Health Department and the electric company out here and everybody I've had to deal with out here. These people are great. They help you. They're awesome. Everybody has been a great help to me. And I think that's fantastic. Bobby is scheduling his site survey next week. Hopefully Thursday or Friday she'll come out and do his site survey. Because she has to come out and say, okay, you're allowed to do this kind of septic system. You have to put your leach field here. This is the size it has to be. So she has to do that before you go on to your next step. Well, while she's out here, I'm going to be here. And I'm going to show her my design and say, hey, will this work? Before I submit it and pay the money for the application, you know, the permit, she'll look at it and say, oh yeah, that'll work. Or no, change this to this and then submit it. She's really cool. So that's how I'm going to get my septic done. Now we have both agreed, Bobby and I, that the smart thing to do is I'm doing this little 8-foot addition onto the house for the bathroom and utility room. And then Alex is giving me his 14 by 32 building to add on to mine. But I'm going to do the septic before I move the building. Because I don't want her coming out here and say, oh, this is completely different now. You know, you need a 1,500 gallon tank. You can't do it with a 1,000 gallon. I don't know. But we're going to wait and do that, you know. That's how the septic systems work out here. Now, my next step here is I'm going to be moving. I bought two, you saw I bought two food grade IBC totes. Brought them out here. Well, Bobby wanted one of them. So I gave him one of them. Next week I'm going to go get two more because he wants two and then I obviously want two. So I'll go get two more, give him one, and I keep one. Next weekend I'm going to have those set up out here along with a gutter system on the back of the house to start collecting rainwater. I'll bring out all the plumbing that I need to hook them together and all that kind of shit. So I can get that set up. I've got a bunch of these old billboards left that are black that I'll wrap around the tanks. It won't be pretty, but who's gonna look? I'm not gonna be painting them or buying those covers or anything like that, but I will have them completely covered with these black billboards to keep the algae and everything from growing as much as possible. Now, that won't be potable water. That will be water that I can use to flush a toilet, take a shower, wash dishes, that kind of stuff. That's all that's going to be used for. I won't drink it or cook with it. But I want to get that set up next weekend. And then I'm going to get the floor joists for the addition. I got the beam set yesterday. Carter Lumber, where I have to go get the 1x6s, the 16-footers, was closed yesterday. They close at noon. So I'll get those this coming week, get that set up, get the deck put on it, and then set the flange for the toilet, start getting all that stuff together. Yeah, I mean, that's hopefully I can get that done next week. That's part of my plan. It's nice. This is Sunday afternoon, and I don't have to, close up everything and head back into town so I can go to work at 1 o'clock. This is really cool. And I don't have to go home at any particular time tomorrow because I don't work now. I'm taking a break from work. The way I have to do this, and I think a lot of people could do it this way, a lot of people don't have the budget, the unlimited budget to build whatever they want or have it all done however, I don't know. I'm retired. Gail's retired, right? We're doing this whole thing on a short shoestring budget. So, I went to work there at the hospital for 3 months, 3.5 months. That got me the money I needed to do this, get all the septic squared away. So all of that is done. Now I'll take off for a couple months. I'll make sure that gets done. I got other projects that I'll be doing. The next major thing I've got to do is buy the toilet and the shower and, start finishing up the inside. And if I have to, I'll go get another job. I can work another job for 2 or 3 months, save up my money, get all the supplies that I need, quit again. I mean, they're part-time jobs. Who cares? None of them are career moves. I just get what I can. I save up till I get, this particular project finished and then move on, That's how you have to do it. And then things like life comes up, right? For my rain catchment, I want to buy a pump. It's the same thing I got in the cabin. For the rain catchment in the cabin, it's Seaflow Series 33 thing. Except in the cabin, it's 12-volt DC. That's why I still have one solar panel up and the battery bank and everything. It runs the pump for the rain catchment in the cabin. I'm going to do the same kind of thing here at the house, but it's going to be 110. Where I can just plug the pump in and use it. That's like $130, right? What happens is things like, I came out here Friday, I get a call from Gail. The washing machine's been acting up, been acting kind of stupid. And Wednesday she tried to do a load of laundry and she said it took like 3 hours for it to drain out and spin out and everything. Well then, it just sits there and hums now. So it needs a new computer, right? $400 computer. Well, it did exactly as it's engineered to do. This is how this stuff works, right? It had a 36-month warranty on it. This is the 38th month. Guess what? You don't put a $400 computer in a 3-year-old washing machine. Right? We just had to suck it up, spend $800 and buy a new washing machine. Fortunately, the boys are going to go in on it too, so it's not quite as bad. But there goes the money for the pump I was going to order this weekend to get it out here in time. So again, I mean, you know, I just got to get more creative in ways of doing stuff. And if it means going back to work, I go back to work. Ideally, I would have this channel. I can get this channel going again. This is like 3 videos in a row. I mean, 3 days in a row I'm getting to put up a video. I haven't done that for a year and a half. So, you know, hopefully this can become my job and I could do this every day, maybe put up videos. I don't know. I bore myself pretty quickly, which means I probably bore everybody else too. I'm not depending on this for my revenue. But I can go pick up another job, another part-time job. Like I said, I can, you know, if I find something this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm still out here 3 or 4 days a week, you know, I can get a lot done. That's how you have to do it when you're in our kind of situation. I think that works best. But yeah, I mean, that's the plan. I'm gonna get the one tote, that a 275 gallon tote I got left out there. I'm gonna go ahead and get that set up today. I'm gonna get the beams set up and the blocks so that they're level, and I'll have room for the other one. I'll get that part out of the way. Then next weekend I want to come out here next Thursday if Lindsay shows up to do his site survey. But I want to have all the plumbing parts I need to hook them together and show you how a real rain catchment system works, how easy they are. Get that plumbing all set up, get the gutter hung up on the roof. Like I said, it's just going to be a temporary thing until I get the whole house built, and then I'll put gutters around everything. Bring the floor joists out, get all that set up. Now, Morgan's North Carolina Adventures posted a question on my video doing the beams and everything. Why am I not using those 8x8 sections of floor joists I'd pre-built out of 2x8s? Part of the problem is these 16, I was going to build a 16-foot wide house, right? These buildings are 16 feet wide, but at their widest point, the roof overhangs. The actual size of the building is 15 feet 4 inches, I think it was. So every one of those I'd pre-built, I only need 2 of them. Every one that the 2 that I had pre-built, I would have to take apart, cut them all down, put them back together again, and then use them. I need 9 16-foot 2x6s, and I'm done. Right? Also, I have a height problem. Right? I have to get underneath that to hook up all the plumbing for the, you know, washer that's going to be in there, the shower, the toilet, all of that. I've got to be able to get underneath there. And I know 2 inches is not a lot of space, but I would have to drop it 2 more inches and then have to get under. I'd rather stick with the 6 inches. And it'll span it. I'm all within spec on everything. So that's why I'm not using those. And I have another idea where I want to use those anyway. Because I have more stuff coming down the pike that once we move out here permanently, those are not going to go to waste. And if worse comes to worse, I'll take them apart, run them through my table saw, and make my own 2x4s out of them. I got 96 of them there. None of them are exactly 96 inches, but they will make the perfect studs. That'd be 194 studs that I don't have to go out and buy. So it's not going to go to waste. Let's see, what else going on? Not a whole lot. I mean, I went and got gas. Yesterday I mowed. The grass was just so tall from so much rain. and it was wet, so it just clumped everywhere. But I went and got more gas today. I'm going to do another mowing this evening after the sun goes down a little bit. Just rub my, because it just left clumps of wet grass everywhere. So I can lower the deck now and make another pass real quick around and cut all of that up, and you know, because it's all dry now, and be able to clean that up. I want to work in the tool shack. I got to get that cleaned up and everything organized again. But there's about 6,000 wasps in there. I need some kind of a bomb. I don't know what I can use, but I got to get them out of there. I've been stung enough times. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm not allergic to it, fortunately, but it does suck pretty bad to get stung by those things. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, it's just time to clean up stuff and just, you know, I worked pretty hard yesterday getting all the weed eating done, the mowing, the beam set and everything. I got to get back into working hard again too. So today's not going to be working as hard. Like, I'm glad I got all this stuff put away and cleaned up and swept up as much as I could. Now, I still got all that trash to burn. It's just a little bit too breezy. I'm not, you know, I'm going to get a burn barrel up here next weekend. It's supposed to be cooler, less breezy, might even be a little drizzle and rain. That'd be perfect to burn all this cardboard and all this trash that I got to get rid of. But now I can get my everything in and out of here without a problem. The lawnmower, I couldn't even get the lawnmower back in here yesterday, the Husqvarna, because we got the table saw out to cut pieces we needed to put the beams together. You know, just a matter of putting everything back up, getting organized, getting clean. I don't like it junky. You guys know that from my videos. I like everything clean. I like everything put away. I like everything organized. You know, too many of these homesteads turn into junkyards, you know, or just shit everywhere. And that drives me up a wall. Drives me crazy. But yeah, this is about it. I mean, I love it out here. I'm happy I got to spend all this time out here now. It's supposed to rain tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday. I think 7 out of the next 10 days is rain again. It's one of the reasons why I want to make sure I get this gutter set up so I can start collecting some of this rainwater. Because as soon as I put a toilet in and a shower, I'm going to start finishing out this building. And I can move into it. I don't need to stay in the cabin anymore. Cabin is going to wind up being guest house. You know, when we have visitors, they can stay in the cabin. I'm going to keep it. I'll probably do my live streams from inside the cabin. Because I don't get quite as good a signal out here yet in the barn. I've done a couple live streams out here in the barn, but it's kind of difficult, you know, once in a while. But yeah, that's about it. Just chilling out. I moved that ladder. I'm going to tell you what. My arm, my shoulder was doing really good. And I think the camera cut off after I started moving that ladder. But that thing got hung up and the foot pad got hung up. And I had to prop it up and get a hammer and fix that. And when I got done, I'm like, oh, my shoulder hurts so bad. Because it was feeling good and I didn't think about it. And then I had to overextend it to hold that extension ladder up. It's like, gosh, darn it. But you know what, I'll survive. But anyway, I'm glad I got things cleaned up. I hope, you know, this video makes sense. I hope you got something from it. Had a good live stream last night. I'm going to try, since I'm going to be out here so often. I know Saturday nights, you know, during the spring and summer and fall, there's a lot of activities going on. I don't want to, you know, expect people to do a lot in live streams on a Saturday night. I'm still going to do it for you that like them. But I'm also going to try to do one on Thursday nights. I'll be out here on Thursday. If I'm here, I will do a live stream Thursday night for everybody at 8 o'clock. We'll see how that works out. I mean, it might not be every Thursday, but most Thursdays. Like I said, I mean, YouTube is a good way sometimes to generate some revenue, which I need. I'm not, you know, I'm not going to be one of these channels that gets on here and says, woe is me, I don't have anything, can you send me stuff, you know, send me all this shit. I don't, you know, we're not getting into that. I'm showing you how to do this kind of stuff with no money. That's what I'm working on. Don't complain because it's taking a little longer than it should if I had plenty of money. But I'm going to get it all done at 68 years old. This year, this house is going to be far enough along that we can move out here. And I can sell the house in Wheeling, have the well done, have the pump house done, and get everything I need to finish up the house. That's the goal. Then once we're living out here, we can get part-time jobs out here. But this year, somebody will be living in this house. It may just be me, but by God, somebody's going to be living out here. That's all there is to it, damn it. And once I'm living here, then I can get, then I can do gardens and fruit trees and get the orchard going, and I'll be here forever then. And once we do move out here and we get away from Wheeling and all that shit, it's going to be a lot cheaper to live out here too. We're not going to have the boys with us. They already know that. They're not coming. They got to figure out something else. And there's just so many things that after we're established here, especially once we get the garden going and canning and all the stuff that a homestead is supposed to do, then it's going to make life so much better. My last years, I'm really going to be able to enjoy. I will never be done here, but I will have a lot of fun. That's what I'm not going to be stressed about where am I going to get money for a friggin' pump now, because I had to buy an $800 washing machine. I won't have those kind of worries anymore. That's what I'll be glad to get away from. So, y'all hang out. It's going to be fun. If you ain't subscribed, hit that button, subscribe. Do a thumbs up on every video. I need to get this thing going. And thumbs up and comments really help the algorithm. Everybody says that, so I got to believe it. And again, a lot of these channels I've seen, they've gone to paying to have thumbnails made, paying to have edits done, paying for views, paying for comments. I am never going to do any of that kind of shit. You know, there ain't enough money in YouTube to pay for, you know, to justify investing in that kind of stuff. Oh, it's crazy what I've been finding, because I've been doing a lot more on YouTube as far as searching and looking for how things are being done. It's a great school, YouTube is. But I see more and more of these people now that are paying. They got 10,000 subscribers, but every video they put up, they get, 20,000 views. And they got, I don't know if you've seen these videos, they got those comment farms in China where you'll see a person sitting there with 200 cell phones. And they're typing a comment onto every video, and they get money for that. That's how they make money. And they look legit to YouTube when they scan it. It doesn't look like bots. But there'll be stations of all these Chinese that have, 200 phones in front of them, and they go to each one. And they leave a thumbs up or the good job or something. Man, pop, 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 pop. Those views get there. I can't do that. I ain't into that. But anyway, I think I've killed enough time now. I can put a video together. Tell me how to get rid of the wasps in there. I need them gone. Hang out. We got video reviews to do. I'll be doing giveaways. I'm really going to get into this now that I'm going to be out here so often. But remember, like, share, comment, do all that kind of shit, Helps out. Again, I hope everybody has a wonderful Mother's Day. Call your mom if you haven't. Call your dad if he was your mom. Call your grandma if she was your mom. That's the way society is today. A lot of the grandmas are stuck raising the kids. They have to be mom. They don't get to be grandma, they have to be mom. We gotta solve those kind of problems too. But this is Joe out here in the studio in the barn. See you later. I'm out.